Hey there, Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising. Welcome to your, ooh, look at that. Welcome to the new moon in Taurus reading that we have going on. The new moon is happening on Friday the 19th, at least here in the Eastern time zone at 11:53 a.m. There is a time zone calculator in the description box below, so check to see what time it is happening for you. Kind of important because it is a Cassini new moon, which means it's very super important and potent. Thank you. For a half hour before and a half hour after, and I would really encourage you not to miss the opportunity to write down at least a sentence to plant a seed of intention, because this new moon does not become a full moon. Every new moon becomes a full moon. Usually takes 1.5 to 2.5 years. This one takes 6.5 years. This one leads us through the end of the decade, into the next decade, and into the age of Aquarius. And so it becomes a really important energy to be working with. And look at you. You're working with the sun, the celebrity. It says, I lead with my light. And so Gemini, what's really interesting is by the time this thing becomes a full moon, you will have the south node will have come back to your sign. It will have just ingressed into your sign. And so you will be having between now and then, you will have gone through this energy of really lighting up and being at your zenith of energy, and really opportunity to really produce a lot of things. And then there will be the reassessing. Okay, what do I have to release and let go of in order to allow myself to elevate even higher? And so that is some pretty powerful energy. So over the course of the next 6 years, you have an opportunity to really, really shine. And so it starts today with laying that. So look at this. You have the Empress here at the energy. To lay the foundation for what it is that you really want to manifest and create, what it is that you really want to do. There is some factors that are driving you toward it. I think that there was the releasing and the letting go of a situation was necessary and not necessary comfortable. Wow. Holy crap. All right. This one too wants to come. Okay. So overall energy. Overall energy for you, we have the Chariot. It's called the awareness. There is an awareness of what to do next. That's wonderful. And it's movement forward in alignment with your conscious and your subconscious, your goals and your desires and your dreams, and how you really feel about them and how you want to manifest them. There's a bit of it's head and heart working together. It's really in connection because you're moving toward this beautiful Ten of Pentacles. We are the world. You are moving toward actually having it all and shining like your bright, sassy self there. So that is really powerful energy that you are working with here. I'm really excited for you. So here you're in this energy of creativity. Right now is a very creative, potent, creative time for you. And we got there. Everybody gets there. They get to this point of needing to create something new because something has not that a change was needed, right? There's a sense of, I don't like the way this is. And part of what seems to be driving you seems to be some kind of a heart pain. Because here we have this card of the Three of Swords in the subconscious. It's called isolation, and this icy energy here is melting now. It's like a glacier that's melting. It's crying tears, and so it feels like the thawing that is going on in the subconscious, of the recognizing, I don't like this situation, and so I'm going to add some fire to this and create something new. So the consciousness here is the Eight of Pentacles. It's the mastery. It's called the ordinariness here, although I gotta say that is beautiful. If that's ordinary, I'm down with it. The solution here is, what do I do now? What is my next step? How do I move from here to there to here to there? Because it looks like you were compromising a lot in the recent past, giving in maybe too much, trying to have this meeting of the minds with somebody, and assessing whether the give and the take was in balance. Now, this could be your employer, it could be with your children, it could be with your significant other. but there was something where it felt as though you were not receiving as much, like you were putting the effort in, but it wasn't necessarily paying out. And you were supposed to shine. And you know that, right? I lead with my light. And so leading with your light means I am not going to sit in this misery. I'm going to allow that to melt away. On the subconscious, there's a lot of healing going. This Three of Swords, when you've got this iceberg melting, and even though it looks sad while it's doing it, it's the emotional release. So what I find with air signs, my mom was a Gemini, and she would be very stoic, and people wouldn't necessarily know from her emotional aspect that she was upset. Well, you would know from verbal, but you wouldn't necessarily. It was sharp tongue, but not necessarily acting like she was personally hurt. She was just disappointed. And so I think something really wounded you on a deep level, and you may not have completely shared with anybody, but inside there's a thawing in the heart space. There's a recognition and awareness that you have within yourself. You are completely aware of the fact that this really hurt. And so the antidote appears to be to go about your daily business and master something and move forward. Because this has been a very, very stressful situation. So let's take a look at what we have going on here. Because the success is coming. But currently, there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of stress. So this guy, look at this. He's on this ball and he's juggling a lot of things. And that little monkey is about to poke the ball. And it's not you, but somebody's about to do that. So if there's a situation that you are sitting on, that you are not taking the action, even though you're aware of it, and you know that it's holding you back, there's a tower moment coming. So we don't have the tower moment here, but in your energy outside of you, so this is not you, we have justice and we have a breakthrough. And so this looks like the breakthrough. Something is going to dissipate the stress, and it's coming from outside of you. So someone offers you a solution, someone offers you an opportunity. It is justice, so it's not a bad thing, but that doesn't mean it's not going to feel bad. Sometimes what is good for us does not feel comfortable. And so where are you? You are here in this this Four of Cups. And then this Four of Cups, a lot of times they depict it as like, oh, Spirit's offering you something and you're not paying attention because you're feeling bad about all the other stuff. Not this one. Look at this. She is sitting there completely open and receiving and understanding her emotions, right? She's got her hands down in all that water and she's receiving the emotions. And around her, there's a lot of people with a lot of opinions, but she's tuning them out and tuning into her own emotions. And so I think that's what this is. This healing happens by you tuning into your emotions and allowing yourself to feel your feels. And it doesn't make you any less of who you are. It actually helps you to connect in with your higher spirit guide team and put you on a higher path and a higher resonance of what it is that you're trying to manifest and create. And so a meditation practice, a breath work, when you, oh wow, they never say that to me. Okay, so breath work, you're an air sign. Breath work is really good. And so sometimes, you're like, oh, I don't want to sit here and feel all that, but you can follow the breath, right? So you inhale good, clean, cleansing, positive energy. You feel it go all the way through your body, nice and slow, maybe a count of 4 or 5. And when you exhale again, the count of 4 or 5, and you are releasing all the lower vibrational energy in your life. And if you follow your breath, just feel how it moves through your body and feel it when you blow out. Okay, so you do that cleansing like 3 times where you're releasing the negative, and then you're breathing in the good stuff and you're breathing out the good stuff. And it's almost as though you're filling the space around you with the good and the positive. Okay, and so this is something that you can do anytime you're feeling stressed out. Just take a couple of breaths and release the anxiety. But then as a morning and an evening practice, they're saying to spend a few minutes doing the breath work, following your breath, because your lungs, Gemini is the lungs. It's the twins, right? It's the twin air. And so really using that breath of life to breathe life back into your personal energy field, because you have the card here of integration. This is the Temperance card. Okay? This is the yin and the yang. This is bringing yourself into balance. This is your opportunity. The difficulty is the stress, but if you follow the breath, you can bring yourself back into balance. So this is a practice that isn't just for this week. This feels to me like the kind of practice that becomes a part of your life. It becomes a way that you live. You live in this sense of balance because you follow your own breath. There are lots of guided meditations on following your breath. There are a lot of resources for that, where if you want to get even more into it. I mean, there are different ways to breathe. There are ways that you can breathe where you can bring it up from the root and down from the crown, and you mix them together. That's a little more difficult for me to explain. It is a practice and I use it, but there is something here where there's so many ways for you to use this, and you are very good at technology, so I know you could figure it out. I trust that. All right, so, but look, this tuning in, right, and following the breath, and what is the action that they have you taking? It is the Buddha consciousness, the Ace of Swords. It is this practice. That is the action that you are really being encouraged to take right now to help to bring you through whatever this cycle is, so that you are ready. Because when we get to where this moon is full, we have this Five of Wands, the totality. Again, the South Node will be in your sign at that time, and we have the willingness to let go in order to soar to higher heights. This is trapeze artist. It comes with the Lovers and the completion. And this Lovers card, look at them. They are face to face, heart to heart. It is the final piece of the puzzle. And so if you're in a difficult situation and you're trying to work through things with your current relationship, the centeredness will help you to do it. Finding a way to release the stress will help you to do it. Settling in. This does not look like you necessarily have to leave the relationship. Okay? For some of you, there is the opportunity to leave the relationship because that might be something that happens. Now, this relationship does not have to be significant other. This could be a job, a creative project. It could be a relationship with your children. But there's something here about you really getting centered in who you are and shutting out the noise around you to find what is really of value to you. That helps to complete the puzzle. And then you will find like-minded individuals or situations, jobs, creations, whatever, that resonate on the same level in the thoughts and in the hearts. There's a meeting of the minds and a meeting of the hearts here. And the final piece of the puzzle here that's being put in, that's coming in at the third eye. That's coming in through this consciousness and this awareness. And this ordinariness to focus on, he's out in the fresh air and he's walking. I mean, you could just literally start by walking and breathing in fresh air that way. But Eight of Pentacles says you have to show up and you have to learn. You're the apprentice to become the master. And so it's mastering a skill. And it appears to me that they really want you to master your consciousness, because that allows you to create whatever, manifest whatever it is you want to. We are the world here, and the celebration. There is something that you really want to manifest and create. You have a vision. You have an important vision that needs to be shared out there. And it is going to start with you integrating into your own self the sense of the true gift of manifestation is when we know that we can manifest and create anything. and that stress doesn't have to be a part of it. That I am in flow with my breath, and I breathe in opportunities, and I breathe out gold, right? Like I know what to do. I'm in flow with it. For me, manifesting is as easy as breathing, but there has to be an awareness that needs to come in. This is really this feels like when this is in the energy that's led you to where you are, that you've been making compromises that may not be in alignment with your own sense of personal well-being and integrity, either physically, mentally, or emotionally. Something is a little bit out of alignment, and there's a need for you to bring things back into alignment with this yin and the yang, and you have the opportunity to do so. But I think it's by consciously choosing to bring yourself into alignment, and not thinking that you got to keep up with everything that's going on around you. So Mars was hanging out in your sign for freaking ever over the winter, right? And nothing seemed to be moving, and then all of a sudden everything got moving. And so now it's like all that stress. And so maybe while nothing was moving and things were at a slower pace, it was easier for you to focus on stuff. And now all of a sudden it feels like everything's coming at you really hard. And so taking this time to come back to the breath, to come back to your center, to tuning into yourself. When I was doing the pre-shuffle, this card came out. That's really interesting. All right, so we have the card of the Elder. 34, it's a 7. The awareness. Your own personal awareness. Your own personal consciousness here. So I'm using the deck. It's called the Seed and the Sickle. I had, about a year ago, I had a changing of the guard with my spirit guide team, and I had a new one come in. So we went on to Amazon and went shopping for a deck that we could use to communicate with. And this is what Pomona chose. And I never use it here, but she really wanted me to, and so we've been using it, and it's been really impressive. Okay, so the Elder is a tree beloved by mischievous magic and inhabited by pixies and ghosts around the world. Stopping beneath it for too long may lull you into a long and gripping sleep. Drawing this card as a warning, you may soon be tempted to slow down and take things easier, but doing so may mean you miss key opportunities. Whatever waits to lure you away from your goal, don't let it distract you from your focus. There's a balance that is needed. This isn't about, right? Like Mars, God, everything's super slow and things are really fast right now. Can you bring it back to, this is not about missing the opportunities. This is not about missing the opportunities. This is not about stopping the forward movement. This is about integrating into your practice downtime so that you can really shine, right? We are at our best when we lead with our light. And if we're exhausted, we cannot do that. And so this is about managing your personal stress while you are enjoying everything in life, right? The Ten of Pentacles, that's having it all. That's having the relationships, the friends, the job, the money, the whatever we want. And you are in this creative energy. You are not being asked to not create. Absolutely create. You are being asked to also build into your routine an opportunity to just breathe. Just breathe. Breathe out the stress and breathe in the opportunity. Allow yourself to get very, and also when you're stressed, you can't think properly, right? This Ace of Swords, this consciousness, this clarity, it can't come in when we're under a lot of stress. There's actually hormonal issues that block the flow of the way the brain's working at that time. And so it's important to not be in fight and flight all the time. It's really bad for our health, and it's really bad for thinking. And so you are, right now, you've been going, actually, it's really funny because I call it the integration process. While that North Node has been in Taurus, you've been in the integration process, and you're about to move out of the integration process into the planting of the seeds. Do not stop. Do not stop. It's going to get busy. Things are fast. That is not your imagination. But it is really important that at this time that you keep it slow in your brain. couple of times a day, to allow yourself to realign, to bring yourself back into balance. That is a responsibility. It is in the ordinariness. It is going out there and doing things at a pace that works for you, but using your breath to settle yourself and center yourself. This is the most interesting reading I've done yet this week. It is so specific about what step to take. And so I really hope that you will follow Spirit's advice on this, because the whole time I'm talking to you, I can feel my lungs. I'm like so aware of what they're doing. And so bringing your awareness into your own body and space and your breath. And then go out there and create and manifest whatever world it is that you want. Whatever it is you want. You're about to step through and really light up the world. But you can't do it if you fall apart. So there you go. Can't wait to see what you do, Gemini. I'm on Facebook. I did a lot of the astrology for this new moon over there. If you want to check that out, that video comes out on Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. Daylight Time. But there are videos every day over there about the astrology. And I'm going to be working with Venus this summer. And Venus enters into Leo during your sun sign season. And she is there until the 1010 gateway. And it's an opportunity for all of us to really let ourselves really shine. So it's interesting to note to me that you're supposed to work with the cycles of the sun. So wherever the sun is placed over the next 6 years. So when the sun is in your sign, what does that mean? Really follow along the energy. So kind of notice where, when the sun is in Capricorn, how does that make you feel? What do you focus on, right? Really going through that energy and paying attention to it. Because the sun is always, there's a solstice, whether you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, that is the bridge between Gemini and Cancer. And so the sun has this, there's this effect that goes on in your life at that time. You need to check and see, journal on it. Take a few minutes once a month or so to think about, okay, while the sun was, and it changes signs around the 20th of every month, and so this past, 4 weeks, how have I really felt, what's been interesting to me, what's been engaging, what's been difficult, and start tracking it over the next 6 years. I think you're going to learn a lot about yourself. All right? There you go. Great. I will talk to you guys again soon. Take care.